So if you follow the CFL, you definitely have heard of defensive lineman Garrett Marino. He's getting a second chance with the USFL. So if you use American guys, he signs with the Michigan Panthers. And so Garrett Marino was a notable and polarizing player for the Saskatchewan Roughriders throughout his time in the CFL that was mired by controversy. Before his career could really hit stride, his personal conduct continued to impede the possible success that he seemed to be extremely capable of. However, despite being released by the Roughriders on September 6th, Garrett Marino announced that he has signed a USFL contract per his Twitter handle with the Michigan Panthers. Now, Marino's legacy in the CFL is well noted. This year alone, he was fined and suspended multiple times for unnecessary roughness and has allegedly been heard making racist remarks against Red Blacks quarterback Jeremiah Masoli, who he also illegally hit. That ended Masoli ended up being Masoli being injured and out for the rest of the season. Red Blacks receiver Nate Bahar came out publicly in defense of his teammate and was extremely disappointed in the league's handling of the situation with Marino. We have video out there. You can find the video out there. You see for yourself. It wasn't, but several weeks later, Marino once again was in the spotlight. Marino, while fresh off a 4-game suspension, Marino blindsided Winnipeg Blue Bombers quarterback Zach Collaros late in the fourth quarter of the Labor Day Classic versus the Blue Bombers. It wasn't until this hit that Marino would be released from the Rough Riders on September 6th after 8 games and registering 1 sack. So keep this in mind with this guy. Let's take a look at the video, and you see for yourself. Also, let's see. Here's the hit on Masoli. Just kind of goes right for his legs. While we believe that everybody deserves a second chance, it isn't what the initial suspension was supposed to be. If anything, it should be an indication of what could be for Marino and now the Michigan Panthers. Marino has repeatedly been in the spotlight for his less than sterile character issues. Even in college, he had issues at Arizona State and Montana after being dismissed from both programs before finishing up at UAB. Not sure what the future holds for Marino, however. To give him a shot in the USFL seems a bit off-colored, in our man Pat Fino's opinion. While Marino, from a skill set standpoint, definitely has talent, he definitely has some issues that his skill set doesn't match. It's no secret pro football players have done some heinous things on and off the field and oftentimes face minimal repercussions. Many of those players' skill sets offset the issues they bring into the locker room or the field. He views Marino as a rotational defensive lineman, however. The amount of bad press and notoriety he brings to the USFL is not worth the headache, in his opinion. With tens of thousands of college players coming out of school, Marino is not the guy he wants younger players to rally around, nor the league waste a roster spot. He's not a fan. So Pat is not a fan of Marino coming to the USFL. But here's the guy. Here's the hit. We're all about second chances. It will be interesting to see how this plays out. We also remember we have the behind-the-scenes show, United by Football. Clearly, this is a guy that I would want to have and see on that show. And we're all for second chances. But his track record isn't great, but we'll have to find out how working with somebody like Jeff Fisher it plays out with this defensive lineman.